Hey guys, happy Friday. I'm popping on a few minutes late. Was having some technical difficulties, but I am excited about today's topic. I know you guys are going to find it super helpful. It's been one of my big goals for the year and something that I'm excited to talk more about. And it's really where so many people get stuck. So, the biggest things that I hear new entrepreneurs getting stuck with: perfectionism, procrastination, and self-doubt. Like probably the top three biggest things. And I want to talk a little bit about those things and give you guys some tools to really help you break through those so that you're not stuck. And the thing about this is, like, all three of those things, a lot of times we think there's something that it's just how we are and we can't control it, or it's going to, because of it, it's going to take us out of the game. We're not going to be successful. And the thing is, like, it's something that you have total control over, and that if you put the right systems and do the right things in your business when you're moving forward with things, those things don't have to stop you. And that's really important to recognize, because one of the things that I hear from people most often is like, what if I fail? You know, I'm afraid of failure. And the thing is, like, I've really come to realize this, and it's absolutely truth, that failure is a choice, and really all that it is giving up. So either never starting in the first place or giving up. And if you really like plan in your business and set goals, which is a lot of what I'm going to be talking about today, you won't fail. And so it's important to recognize that. So if you hop on, say hello. I'm going to quick share this in my group so that everyone in there can see it too. I also want to say, like, another reason why I really wanted to talk about this today is that I just had a birthday, and I've been doing like a lot of reflecting. I just had a birthday, and it's close to the new year. Hey, Crystal. And so I've been doing like a lot of reflecting on things. And one of the things that I really have come to see is that, thank you, Melody. Yeah, it was a really good birthday. But one of the things of why it was so good is because I've really like made so many changes in my life in the past few years, especially since I started my business. And the only reason that I've been able to do that is because of what I'm going to share with you guys, because of actually going through and taking action on things and not getting stuck in perfection and procrastination and self-doubt. Like, I know those things really well. Believe me, I do. They ran most of my life. And a lot of times I would just say, like, oh, I'm just a perfectionist. A lot of times talk about this. Hey, Kat. So glad you're here. When I was in elementary school, my mom had me see the school counselor for being a perfectionist. Like, she was worried about me because I was such a perfectionist. So I'm a perfectionist. I get it. And I am also a procrastinator. A lot of times procrastination and perfection go together because we're afraid of not doing the right thing or doing things well enough or good enough or right or whatever, so we put off doing it at all. And obviously that goes along with self-doubt too. Perfectionism really goes along with self-doubt and being scared of what other people think, and, being afraid of not doing things right or doing it good enough. All that stuff also connected. So I really want to like go through some of this stuff, because I still definitely have those tendencies, but I've been able to put tools in place that have not allowed them to stop me from moving forward with my business and moving forward from really like accomplishing all these things that I really wanted to do in my life. And like I said, just had a birthday, and I've been reflecting on everything. And last year, like for my birthday, I like look back at kind of what my intentions were for the year and what I was really wanting to create. And I did all those things last year. And the only way that I did all those things was by taking action and putting into place a plan to allow me to move forward doing those things. And if I had not done that, I could have just been stuck spinning my wheels and not done all the things that I did this last year with growing my business, with moving, with really like building my social circle was like a big goal. Like these things that were really important to me and that I set out at the beginning of the year, putting in place that I wanted to do, and I did all of them, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Crystal saying that perfectionism used to seem like something to brag about, which is true. And for a lot of us, like, I always think about that too. Like a lot of times when you have like job interviews and they ask you like, what are your faults? And, or like, what are your faults? And people would say like, oh, I'm a perfectionist. And like, it's like a good thing, but a bad thing. And there is a lot of good in wanting to do good work. But when it comes to being a perfectionist, there's no such thing as perfection. So it just keeps us stuck. And so really shooting for I like to say done is better than perfect, which is true because trying to make something perfect means you never get it done and you never move forward. And so for really just shooting for getting things done and doing good work, but not trying to do perfect work because there's no such thing. And really like being less afraid of making mistakes, being less afraid of failure, like trying to fail as much as you can is actually like really a good thing and super empowering, because the more you fail, the more you're learning and the more you can then move forward with things. If you're trying to avoid failure and trying to avoid making mistakes, you will never move forward. You will just spin your wheels doing nothing, because all the things that you actually need to do to move forward in your business for sure are the things that you're going to have to fail at. So I like to say like failing forward. You're going to have to fail at them, like you just are. I mean, I do things that fail all the time, but I never know until I try them. And it doesn't even matter like how successful you are, how long you've been in your business, like you're going to keep failing all the time. In order to keep moving forward, in order to keep growing, like failure is just part of the game. So let me know if you guys can resonate with all that stuff. But I wanted to talk a little bit. So procrastination, perfection. Another thing is like hiding. So a lot of us will really hide, or we're doing kind of the behind the scenes work because no one can see that. We're like working on our website, we're preparing to launch, doing all that stuff that kind of keeps us behind the scenes, but doesn't allow us to get out there in front of people and allow anyone to see our message, who we are, what we're about, how we can help people. And then you can't grow your business. And the thing is, like, just by putting a website out there or just by posting something on social media and stuff, like you can't grow a business. You do need a way to drive traffic and to get in front of people. So afraid of failing at Facebook ads. You have to fail at Facebook ads in order to get them to work. I can tell you that. Like, Facebook ads are all about trial and error. And anyone that works with me can attest to that. But Facebook ads are like absolutely all about failing. Like, you have to, even if all of the Facebook ad professionals, even if that's all you do, it's all about trial and error. Like, that's just the way it is. So often when I make a Facebook ad, I have to try like at least 5 different ones, if not more, before I get it to work. Doesn't mean just to go and do it. You still need to learn how to do it correctly, and like the right way to set up your targeting and all that in your messaging and stuff. So don't just like go shoot in the dark and do Facebook ads. Definitely learn the right way to do them. But even when you do learn the right way to do them, trial and error, for sure. Yeah, Crystal, good at failing at Facebook ads. It's a win. Yes, I am too. I tell you guys this, like the last Facebook ad that I did, I probably had to redo it 20 times over a period of months. And it made me actually start to really doubt myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have a bad message. Nobody likes me. Like all these things, like I let it get to my head a little bit. And the thing is just, I had to keep trying it. And then I got a Facebook ad going and I've had it running for like a year now. So, trial and error. You just gotta know that it's okay. And that's how you get anything to work, in your business, really. So this is another one I really want you guys to hear because I had such a huge realization around this. I like to say analysis paralysis, or waiting to make decisions, or staying in indecision, okay? Like that is such a huge one that so many of us do because we're afraid of making the wrong decision. We're afraid of making a mistake. And so we stay in this place of indecision. And I think it's the worst place you can ever be. You're much better off just deciding something and going with it and then seeing what happens. And if you decide you want to go a different way, then to do that. But indecision, I just wrote this in my birthday post, but it's a killer of dreams. I really think it is. And so anytime you're in indecision, a lot of times we say like, oh, I'm waiting to get clarity about the right decision, or I need some time or whatever. Like a decision is always made in a second. And so I would just say people who are successful make decisions quickly. They really do. If you look at most people who are successful in life and business, like they make decisions quickly and then they follow through on them and they see what happens. And then the only way to find out if it is a good decision or the way that you want to go is by trying it. So another piece that I wanted to give you guys. And waiting to feel ready or to know more, you will wait forever. So we're never ready. We never know enough. We're never perfect enough ourselves. We never have it all figured out ourselves. So you just have to like decide, boom, I'm going to go, I'm going to do it, I'm going to go after it. Okay. So those are kind of the big things I want to go through as far as what I find that people deal with and kind of are struggling with when they're getting started in their business or working on growing their business. And then I want to go through and give you guys some steps when it comes to setting goals and planning, because this is what will make all the difference for you, because this allows you to take the action, move forward, even when you have those tendencies towards perfectionism and procrastination and self-doubt, and all those fun little things that so many of us deal with. Debbie, let me see what you're saying. Okay, Debbie, this is like such a good point. Okay, so Debbie's saying, what about when you have 500 friends and no one engages in your posts and then you start feeling really self-conscious and like nobody likes you, and you don't want to be one of those people that floods people's news feeds because you get eye rolls, whatever. Okay, so that is such a good point, Debbie. So this is why when I work with people, I teach you how to get in front of the people and build an audience of the people who want to work with you, who are looking for what you have to offer. Because I don't want you marketing to your friends and family, because they are not necessarily the people who want to work with you. And you don't want to work with your family and like close friends anyways, because you really can't. Coaching, like it's awkward and weird, like that relationship, you know, you can't know the people really well that you're coaching. It's just, it doesn't work right. So this is why it's really important to learn marketing that allows you to get in front of the people that you do want to be working with, so that you don't have to market to your friends and family. This is why it does not work to build a business by just posting on your social media. You have to learn how to drive traffic and get in front of the right people, so that you can market effectively. So that's something I'm super passionate about. That's why I love Facebook ads. There's other options other than Facebook ads, but it's truly one of the most effective ones. And if you see anyone who's really like rocking it in their business, especially with an online business, most people are using Facebook ads because they're just super, super effective. So, Winga, am I saying your name right? But guilty of waiting to know more. Yeah, we always all think that we need to know more. And I know, having a background in chiropractic, I remember when I graduated from chiropractic school after spending like 8 years in college and being like, what? Like, we have to go out there and start working with people now? Like, I don't know enough. Like, and I think really the moral is like, we never feel like we know enough until we just go out there and start doing it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, I can do this. And you really build up your confidence through actually doing it, and your skill set through actually doing it, through actually practicing it. So, okay, so I'm going to go through, give you guys some steps. If you guys have any questions as I'm going, let me know. But, okay, so step number 1. So this is to help you break through perfectionism, procrastination, self-doubt, and actually take action that leads to results. And by results, I mean getting paying clients, because that's really our end goal for most of us in our business. So number 1 is setting specific goals. And I like to set a yearly goal and then to look back as far as setting a monthly goal is really helpful for me. So I usually work towards monthly goals in my business as far as like an income goal, because it allows me to know what I need to be doing and how many people I need to be working with in order to know how to reach this goal. Yes, the more you fail, the less scary failure is. That's definitely true, Crystal. Okay, so setting the goals. So I like to say, like, think big. So for your yearly goal, like, think big for yourself. And the thing is, if you don't reach your goal, it's fine. Like, you can still think big and set a big goal for yourself, and then work backwards from there. So depending on where you're at, you can decide like what feels like a right goal to you. Obviously, when I was first getting started in my business, my goals were a lot different than they are now. But I like to think of it as far as income goals, because for most of us, like, really that's kind of what we're looking at. We need to be making like a certain income in our business in order to be able to do it full time, or to be able to live a certain lifestyle or have freedom, whatever it is that is really important to you and you're looking to accomplish in your business. I like to look at it as like an income goal, move backwards from that and figure out, how to make that happen. So setting it for the year, like what is maybe your income goal for the year, or you can think about what do I want to be making per month and do it that way. Because if you set it for the year, then I go back to the monthly anyways, because looking at the year is overwhelming. So I like to break it down into months. So if let's put a number out there, for example. So let's say like you want to be making $5,000 per month in your coaching business. Then what you can do is you can look backwards and be like, okay, so where am I pricing my programs? And you can look at this actually when you're deciding on pricing your programs. But let's say you are pricing your program, just to make numbers easy, at $1,000. Then I need to get 5 clients this month to make the $5,000. Okay? So then you can know or decide what actions you're going to be taking in your business that month that are going to get you those 5 clients. And this is the other thing you want to think about, okay? Not to get too complicated for you guys, but it helps when you can break it down, because your business really is a numbers game, okay? So if you don't get the numbers coming in as far as getting in front of the right people and getting calls booked and stuff, like, it's impossible for you to reach your goals. It's nothing personal to you. You don't suck. You're not doing stuff wrong. Like, it's not that you don't have what it takes. Like, you just need to get the marketing systems in place to allow you to do that. So if you look at, I need to get 5 clients this month, then you also have to look at how many calls do I need to book in order to get those 5 clients. Because for most of us, and pretty much anyone who's in any sort of, sales, which we're doing with coaching or consulting, you're going to have to do more than 5 calls to get 5 clients, because typically not everyone is going to say yes. So let's say you had a 50% close rate. Then that means you would have to book 10 calls to get those 5 clients, okay? So then you can look at a marketing perspective. What do I need to do to book those 10 calls this month? Okay? Are you guys following along with me? Because I don't want to lose you, but when you start thinking this way, it really just allows you to set a goal or set actions that you can take and just know, like, these are the things I need to do, as opposed to just kind of like flying by the seat of your pants and doing all this random stuff and not really knowing how anything is going to lead to your end goal. Okay, so then what you want to look at is, I like to say, like, breaking it down to the actions that you need to take to book those 10 calls then. Okay, so if you need to book 10 calls this month, what actions do you need to be taking to book those 10 calls? And I give my clients, I'm not going to go really into the marketing stuff on this video, but I go a lot into that with my clients as far as what actions they can be taking to book 10 calls, and giving you a lot of different options, okay? So you want to make a list for yourself as far as what actions you need to be taking that month to book those 10 calls. And then what you want to do is break those actions down into little pieces that are very doable and not overwhelming. So for example, like one of the things that I have my clients do is put together a Facebook ad, right? So when it comes to a Facebook ad, there's lots of little steps that go into it, you know, writing the copy, figuring out who you're targeting, actually setting it up in Facebook ads and like learning how to do the technical side of things. So I want you to break it down into all those little steps, like as little as you need to get, and really break it down for yourself so that it isn't overwhelming. Because a lot of times if we put like something big on our to-do list and we don't really know how to do it, and then we're just like, oh my gosh, like that's so overwhelming, and we don't even do it, and we go into that procrastination, perfectionism mode because that task in front of us is overwhelming. But if we break it down into little mini steps, then you can start doing those little things and just checking it off. So if it's just like writing the copy, then you're like, okay, I just need to sit down and write the copy. Oh, you know, I need to find an image. And then, oh, I need to look at my targeting and figure out who I'm targeting. So really like breaking it down. It's going to help so much, okay? Because so many people go into overwhelm with this stuff. And if you can break it down into mini steps, it's going to really help you move forward with things. Let me know if you guys have any questions with this. Like this goes with anything, whether you're working on your website, whether you're working on marketing, like break it down into the mini steps so that you know what you actually need to do to get that bigger task done. It's going to really help you take action on it to get it done. So then the other thing is to, and a lot of people find this tricky, myself included, but decide how long each of those little tasks are going to take you. So, and if you say you don't know, decide on how long you want it to take you, okay? So this is the thing. If you give yourself all day to work on something, it's going to take you all day, okay? If you give yourself an hour to work on something and like set a timer, like I have an hour to work on this, you will be able to get it done in an hour, okay? So the amount of time that we give ourselves to work on something is how long the task is going to take us. So don't give yourself all day to work on something. Set a timer and be like, okay, I said I'm going to work on my copy for my Facebook ad, you know, whatever it is. Like I'm just giving you a random task, but I'm going to give myself 1 hour or 30 minutes to do it. I'm going to set a timer on my phone and make it like a little game. I got to get it done in that amount of time. You will be surprised at how quickly you can get things done when you set a timer for yourself and start doing it. Yes, so I do recommend scheduling the steps, so I'm going to get into that. So, okay, so you got to decide how long it's going to take you, right? And then you want to schedule these actions into your calendar. I would definitely schedule them onto the day that you want to do them. So put them on the day. If you are someone that has a busy schedule, I would actually like schedule it in as far as what time you're doing it during that day too. You know, running my business is what I do full time, so I don't get like necessarily specific at like I'm doing this at like 12 o'clock or whatever. But you can do that and you can kind of decide what works best for you. I think some of us work better having a really strict schedule, some of us with a little more flexibility. But truly, if you find that you are having a really hard time getting stuff done, I would get more specific about it. So actually like put it in, like I'm doing this task from 12 until 1 p.m. Okay. And put it into your schedule on the day that you're doing it, broken down into those teeny tiny little steps. Yeah. So you can batch content too. Like that's absolutely true. Samoya, like, I don't do a whole lot with batching, because I don't know, I find that I get inspired on days and I like to do my content on that day based on what's going on for me. But some people love to batch and they do it and it's awesome. And maybe, that works best for you too. But definitely too, if you're like working another job and stuff and you have certain days when you can work on stuff, like batching can be absolutely awesome for helping you get stuff done. Okay. So setting the timer, I talked about that. Hey, Liz. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so the thing is, if you put all these tasks into your calendar, they're scheduled in, the thing is, when they come up and you get to that day and that time, if you put it in a specific time, a lot of times you're gonna be like, I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do it. I don't feel ready. It's scary. I'd rather do something else. I have other stuff going on. Whatever it is, you're probably not going to feel like doing it when the day comes. And the thing is, if it's scheduled in your calendar, you just have to do it and you just have to follow through on it. And when you are an entrepreneur, you are the boss and you're the employee, and you have to hold yourself accountable. So think about it this way. Would you ever go to a job and your boss was like, if you don't feel like coming to work today, or you don't feel like doing your work today, that's fine. No, like you have to go anyways, even though you don't feel like doing it. And if you have certain things that you have to get done in your job, you have to do it on that day, even if you don't feel like doing it. And you have to run your business that same way, because you're not going to feel like doing the stuff that you need to do to be successful in your business a lot of the time. And you just have to do it. And the thing is, like, the outcomes for actually doing it and following through with it, like I would say the outcomes or the things that happen with your business are so worth it. But a lot of times we have to do things in the moment that we don't necessarily feel like doing. But if you set up a schedule and a routine for yourself and you get into the habit of doing it, it becomes more like a job or a habit where you're just like, okay, today's Monday, this is the day. Like for me today, Monday is always like my day for really marketing and doing my newsletter and loading things on YouTube and like all that stuff. So I just get into the habit and routine of doing that, and I just do those things, and I just know that. So it's not like I go into this little hissy fit in my mind like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. Same thing for a video. I do a live video every week. Sometimes the day changes a little bit, but I just am committed to doing one every week, and it's just non-negotiable. Even if I don't feel like doing it, even if I'm like, I'm having a bad hair day, whatever it is, like I'm going to do a video each week. And that's my commitment to myself, to my audience. And so I really follow through with that. And why this is so important is because you need to be consistent with getting in front of the people, your audience, and consistent with putting content out there and consistent with showing up, because people want to work with someone who's consistent. Like, you want to know that that person's going to show up, they're going to do the work, like there's someone you can rely on. So I think from a trust standpoint, it's really important for you to do that in order that people feel like you're someone that they can rely on, and someone that's trustworthy, and someone that follows through and does what they say they're going to do, and shows up in that way. So I think that's really, really important for you as a coach. Let me see what you guys were saying. Yes. Yeah, Crystal, so making it specific and actionable really helps your brain know what to do. Exactly. So anytime you're feeling overwhelmed with a task, just see how you can break it down into littler steps, littler tasks. Like, overwhelm it's all in your brain. It's not like I have too much to do. It's just because you haven't broken it down into small enough steps. That's always what overwhelm is. Mandy asking about my niche. Mandy, have you seen my ideal client guide? I'll stick it either in the comments or up above, but I have a guide that walks you through finding your niche and your ideal client. And if you get really stuck on it, it's something that I work with all my clients on, and I absolutely love ideal client and niche. Like, one of my favorite things to do with people, because it really helps get clarity as far as moving forward with your business. Like, you need to know that in order to do anything else in your business. So it is really important, especially with an online business. Do you guys have any other questions about planning and how to take action, how to move through procrastination and perfection and self-doubt? What I would say is that how to really work through perfectionism, procrastination, self-doubt is by taking these actions, because then you see like, oh, I can do it. And you see that, oh, I can fail and I can make mistakes, and it's okay. The world isn't going to end. Not everyone's going to laugh at me. Like, whatever we think is like this big dramatic thing that's going to happen, never happens. It's always like some story we make up in our head. And truly what's going to happen is that you're just going to be inspiring to people, because when you get out there and you put yourself out there and you're doing what you're passionate about, and you're getting visible, it's inspiring to people. It just is. And so I think a lot of times we're so focused on ourselves and if we're doing it right and what do people think of us. But instead, I always like to say, like, instead focus on all the people out there that need your help and that you can make a big difference in their lives, and really think about that instead. And like, how can I get out there? How can I help these people? How can more people see my message? How can I get in front of the people that I really want to be working with and create a really powerful message that's going to allow them to know that I'm the right person for them to be working with. So that little shift can make such a huge difference. So if you guys find yourself getting stuck with this stuff, I love working through this stuff. Like I said, I am a lifelong perfectionist and procrastinator and have dealt with a lot of self-doubt, and it's all things that have really shifted through me starting my business. It's really been like the biggest thing for me that has allowed me to look at all these different things in my life that had been really like holding me back, not only in my business, but in so many different areas of my life, and really be able to move through those. Because the biggest thing that holds any of us back in our business is not taking action. And the thing that causes us not to take action is our brain, our thoughts. And so when you really learn how to deal with that, how to deal with your mindset and the thoughts that are stopping you from taking action, and knowing what steps to actually be taking. So this is a huge one. Like, there's so much stuff out there. Like, I know you guys are all bombarded with tons of marketing about how to grow your business, how to build funnels, blah, 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 blah. It's like craziness, and you start to drive yourself crazy. But there's actually things that do really work well. And when you know, like, step by step what to be doing to grow your business online and to market, it makes a huge difference. So those are the things that I help people with. I help you step by step. I like take your hand, walk you through the process, help you get clear on your ideal client and your programs and your pricing and Facebook ads. I have a Facebook ad expert who is awesome. We're going to be doing a call together coming up. She's amazing and she works with all my clients. But we really give you everything that you need to know to really move forward with an online business and start getting paying clients. So yeah, Think and Grow Rich is an awesome book. I love that book. That's one of the first books I was introduced to when I was starting my business, and I've read it tons and tons of times. But there's tons, read, listen to podcasts, like absorb all this knowledge on mindset, and it really helps as far as you being able to shift things and to move forward and not get stuck in our own limited thinking, which is where so many of us get stuck. So, all right, I think that's all I had for you guys. If you have any questions with anything, let me know. If you're interested in speaking to me about how we could work together and get you moving forward in your business, and really like helping you with the planning and what actions to take and your ideal clients and any mindset stuff. We dive into mindset stuff so much because it's what I'm so passionate about. It makes such a huge difference. Let me know. Click on the link. I'll put a link. You can sign up for a call with me, and I'd love to speak with you about that, get you moving forward. This is the thing. Like, when I started my business, I was exactly where all of you guys were if you're at the very beginning, and I had no idea how I was going to move forward with things. And it all was about taking the action that actually moved me forward. So then in that year, I was in a different space. But had I not actually taken action and moved forward with things and gotten help and invested in coaching, like I've worked with tons of coaches through the years of growing my business, I would still be back in the exact same spot where I was when I started, which was wishing and hoping that I had a business, that I had freedom, that I was doing, the work that I really loved, but wasn't doing anything to actually move forward with it. And so I think that's really like the big piece here is, number one, to like really get the help and support you need. And number two, to make sure that you're actually really making a plan that's going to help you move forward and take action and do the things that do help you get those paying clients. So really important. Like, if I did it, all of you guys can do it. I promise you, because I've been in the same spot. So it's literally just like committing to it and taking the action. Let me see if you guys had any other questions. You're welcome, Sarah. Does anyone else have any questions? If you guys catch the replay and have questions, let me know as well. I'm always happy to help. I love talking about this stuff. It gets me super excited. And if you're interested in signing up for a call, like I said, I'll put the link. You can sign up for the call. I'll put the link for the Ideal Client Guide. You can download that as well. Really great as far as getting clear on your niche. Just make sure you go through it and actually like write out the answers, because that's the important piece. It's the action piece. Like a lot of us like to read things. We like to watch webinars. We like to download ebooks, but then we don't take the action, okay? So you can learn and learn and learn. You can read a million books. You can take tons of courses, but unless you take action, you never move forward with something. And that's where this planning and setting the goals and actually like putting it on your calendar and following through on it, that's what's gonna make all the difference for you. So you can actually like see like, oh my gosh, I did take action. I did do all these things. I do have clients, like I do have income coming in my business. So that's really the missing piece for so many people. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Thank you everyone who joined me live. I love talking about this stuff. If you guys have any questions or any other topics you want me to talk about, let me know, write it in the comments, because I want to talk about the stuff that you guys really need support with. So thank you for joining me, and have an amazing rest of your Friday, amazing weekend, and I'll talk to all you guys soon. Bye guys.